Hello and welcome back to episode 32 of our Oxygen Not Included Let's Play. Let's get right down to it. So, we are finishing up our Atmosuit docks and Atmosuit checkpoints so that we can start finally digging down and getting into the soil and starting our whole plastics operation. In the meantime, there are a few little things that I'd like to kind of sort out. First, I'd like to be able to dump a bunch of polluted water basically just down here. And let's get on that. This temperature is going to be very low, so any germs that end up in here by whatever process are going to be fine for us. So set up a bottle emptier, and we are going to set this to sweep only and just sweep up any of this polluted water that we see here. So that's the plan. We also kind of want to get rid of a lot of just this junk that we have lying around here. Yeah. Alright. Other thing that we want to do, we want to set up a mesh tile down here. Let's dig out this mesh tile and plop this down. The start just right here is sufficient. But once we get everything, we're going to change it around just a little bit. We want to use mesh tile here because we want any water that melts to just fall through and fill up here. Alright, let's also take that wart seed and shove it somewhere in our base. Any hot spots we still need to worry about. This is fine. Could just set it up down here. I think we're actually just going to set up another one over here. So, furniture. Grab ourselves a flower pot. Granite's fine. And just set one up right over there. And we'll use the wart seed over there. So, mesh tile. Let's continue with this. Great. And we are going to build ourselves power for these Atmosuit docks. We're also going to have some oxygen fill up here. So let's dig out this. I think we're just going to replace it with tile. At least for the moment. And ventilation, gas pipe. Igneous rock is fine. Let's have it go straight down through here and into there. Perfect. This will help keep everything Gucci as we set up our Atmosuit station and tap into this oil. It's again highly pressurized, so we're not going to have to dig down far before we start setting stuff up. But I think having 2 or 3 pumps down here would be good, and we want some power system to keep all this online. The Atmosuit docks online and whatever pumps that we put down. So it's going to have to be decent. I think a coal generator will be enough, since that, for the most part, is just going to handle the 2 pumps. But yeah, so coal generator with smart battery I think is going to be the order of the day. We're keeping this water level kind of manageable now that we've started our metal refineries back up and running. We just want to get this wart seed planted. Plant and set you to fairly high priority just to get you out of there. And then we'll build across with our mesh tile. Okay. So let's also, I just chose to make this out of sandstone, which is going to be a little ways away. That's fine. This is all charged up. This is full of oxygen at a decent temperature. The temperature doesn't really matter since it's just going into these Atmosuit docks. In fact, because of that, let's just disable this building. Yeah, we're going to have some oxygen flow through here. And as it flows through here, it'll cool down a little bit. Yeah, so it's going to come out here at 45 degrees, but by the time it gets out here, it's going to be 25 degrees. Nice and chilly. Perfect. Okay. We're getting temperature-wise all around down here. This is fine. Okay. So this water is actually fairly cold right now. Largely owing to the fact that we're pumping such cold water out through here and not using it for super strenuous things at the moment. So this is actually kind of a waste of our cooling. So maybe we just say that this thing is going to go on standby forever. Let's just basically turn it off. Alright. Don't need to pump any more here. This is all actually about to fill up anyways, so I don't want to take super cold water and use it through this water sieve. Seems a little bit wasteful. The other big thing we want to consider is what we're going to do with this water. So we have all this nice water at a fairly cool temperature. It's cooling the base, which is use for it, I suppose. But I think I'd rather focus on doing something else with it. And what I'm thinking of doing is basically just taking all of this that we have right now and putting into some gas reservoirs. Any chlorine, any carbon dioxide, I just want to scrub it from the air. I don't know what my long-term solution is at this point. I was hoping to find some slicksters that we'd pump the CO2 down to, but we haven't found any, and we've seen most of the map at this point, so it's possible we just don't even have any slicksters on this map. Either way, I'm going to want to kind of just clean things up a little bit here. And so I want to start some sort of gas filtration thing, and I think just store a bunch of the gas. Just stick it here for a while. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. So we're going to dig out some of this area to put in our storage. We will make it just a series of 5x3s. This is fine. And then we're going to have a little spot where we pump stuff down. And I suppose we need to think a little bit about how we do that, because I want to separate out chlorine, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. The oxygen I can just pump out back here, which is fine, but the rest of it I want to deal with it in some way. So, let's, I suppose, build ourselves a little bit of an airlock. In fact, actually, let's just move all these up one. And be as efficient as possible with them. And what we'll probably end up doing is just digging out another 5 like this. Alright. And we're basically just going to set up a little place right here where where we can set up let's dig out the rest of this. We're just going to set up a little area where we can stick a coal generator and a smart battery and just start filtering out all the air here. In addition to that, I'm going to want to produce some more oxygen to fill up that space. I mean, we have a good amount of oxygen in the base, but we could have more, and that's just sort of what we can use this water for. I've been thinking about different things we can do with it. Let's start off by just deconstructing all of this. And we're going to turn this into another algae terrarium. That's the plan here. We're going to grab some tile. Granite's fine. Not quite there. Build it out like so. And then we are going to granite up here and here and set up a new algae terrarium. That's the plan. Alright, so how are we doing over here? We're slowly getting this mesh tile built. We got the Wheezewort out of here. So let's dig out this and queue up another couple mesh tiles. Priority on this, raise it up. Perfect. Okay. So now we want to start thinking about what we're going to do with our sweep only polluted water. And we are just going to sweep up all this. We have storage bins up here that the stuff will get stuck into. Make sure we don't entomb anybody, I suppose. How are we doing down here? Oh. Bert, I want you to move. Perfect. And let's dig out this as well. Alright. Back to here. Let's replace this tile. I mean, we can just make this sandstone. That's fine with me. Get this all nice and neat. And we are going to set up a coal generator. Yeah, here is good. We'll set up a smart battery. Iron is fine. We are going to set up some wire. Again, we'll stick with iron. Actually, let's set up the automation first. Automation wire. Connecting these two. And then we are going to deconstruct, mine out this. And ventilation, we are going to set up a gas pump. Might as well make it out of gold amalgam. We'll set this up right. Kind of want to set it up right here, actually. Yeah. Let's set this up right here. We will also dig out this, deconstruct this. There's slime lung on here, which is not what I want. This is carbon dioxide and not chlorine. In fact, I don't know what happened to our chlorine. It is randomly off somewhere. Choose a duplicate. Reject all. And we'll have our pump here. We will have a filter. Make this out of gold amalgam as well, I suppose. Yeah, we'll just set up one here. And I guess we'll set up another one here. So, power-wise then, we are going to take a wire. Copper's fine. And, actually, I changed my mind. I don't want that. I just want to connect it straight across. In case I want to add anything else onto this circuit. Let's grab another ladder, stick it here, that way people can walk across from here. Okay, and then we are going to set up a series of gas reservoirs. Gold amalgam's fine. Just stick them all here. Perfect. And we are going to start pumping stuff out. Set this priority a little bit higher. This is sweep only polluted water. Okay. So this should be gotten at some point. We just needed this priority higher because they did this work because these priorities are higher. They're mining out all this. That's great. And we want to set up our ventilation, gas pipe. I'll let them work while we do this. So let's say that the bottom three are going to be, or the bottom three levels are going to be carbon dioxide. The top one is going to be, yeah, the top one will be chlorine. So we'll first filter out the carbon dioxide, I suppose, since that's likely to be most prevalent. Something like this. And then I think we'll just run it down like this. And this will filter out CO2. And then this one is going to filter out chlorine. And then finally with this, we're just going to set up a vent, I think, and vent oxygen back up. Let's do something like this, though. Where's a gas bridge? Gas bridge, like so. And ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock. We're just going to pump this back into our base, I think. That's the plan. Get this back up. And just set up a gas vent right here. Perfect. Job's mastered, huh? Let's see. Max, you can be a scientist now. Anybody else? Ari, you can be a scientist as well. Okay. Schedule-wise, we have too many people on the same schedule. Sure. You know what? Any of you have any sort of stress? No. Well, let's move Meep down here, and we'll move Ruby down here. They'll get to hang out a little bit longer. And yeah, so let's also then set up our algae terrariums over here. We're going to do something like this. Yes. And we are going to set up some more tile. Granite is fine. And have deodorizers made of pretty much anything. Sandstone's good. Lining right here. And then we are going to change our plumbing around just a little bit. So take a liquid pipe. Sandstone's good still. And branch off like so. And just have a liquid vent. Copper's good. Whoa. There we go. Alright. So, this is going to be us watering a bunch of new algae terrariums, getting a bunch more oxygen, filling up the air that we're going to take out through this filtration system here. So we swept up all this and pumped it out down here, if I'm not mistaken. And now we want to replace all this with some plastic generation. So, refinement, polymer press. We're going to make these out of gold amalgam, of course, because they couldn't get very hot. And how much space are we going to need? These are 240 each. So if we have 6 of them, we're going to need more than 2 coal generators to run them all. You don't necessarily have to run all of them at once. I think I want the pump here. Well, I want one of these pumps to be linked up on this system. Is that reasonable? Probably not at the moment. Let's just try and keep our cooling as simple as possible then, or as excessive as possible, really. That way we don't have to worry too much about what happens here. So I think we're gonna have 2 coal generators and a smart battery. Let's actually start with those. Coal generators, we'll make them out of gold amalgam as well, because I guess why not. We are going to have a smart battery as well. Set that up right here. We are going to set up a sort of lip right here. And then we want our plastics. So refinement, polymer press, gold amalgam. I'll leave room for a pump if I want to pump any of this stuff out. Likely we're just going to create like a mesh tile and let it fall into something. So we probably don't care too much about recovering that water. Alright, perfect. And then we're going to connect all this up with heavy watt wire. I guess this tile kind of presents a little bit of a problem. We'll just have to go over it. Because heavy watt wire does not go through walls. Like so. Like so. Alright, perfect. While we're at it, let's actually just dig out this and seal things up on this side with some granite. I don't know why I dig that out first when I know I'm just right after going to put tile over it, but there you have it. How are algae terrariums coming along? Slow, but sure. Alright. And we're just going to drip some water on these guys. Not a whole lot, but enough to kind of get this level down a little bit. Are there any more jobs mastered, or are these old messages? Alright. So, this is going to be our plastics production. And we're going to want to pipe, of course, our stuff out to there. Ventilation-wise, we already have a gas reservoir here. I think we might as well use it. Sure. Let's just grab some igneous rock and toss it up here. Bring it across here. And I suppose we want room for another gas reservoir. Base, gas reservoir, gold amalgam. Do it like this. While we're at it, we basically just turn this off, right? Alright, perfect. Ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock. Bring it across. Oops. Perfect. Okay. And we'll just fill these up with CO2 from this whole process. There won't be much of it. And hopefully we'll be able to pump it down to some slicksters. But even if we can't, we'll just store it for now because I don't want it loose. And yeah, this will be our plastics operation. We're going to cool all this as well, which is going to be very important. So we're going to need a lot of temp shift plate in here, but hopefully we can break in and grab some diamond first before we start doing that. We're going to commandeer one of these liquid pumps to run this cooling loop, I think. Maybe even 2. Alright, I think that's it for now. I'm going to... before I forget, let's just mop this up as well. Apparently someone was carrying ice up here, I think, and melted on the way. That happens sometimes. Oh, mop up this as well. Alright. I think I'm going to call the episode here. I think we made pretty good progress. Have our plastics facility all lined out. Setting up some new oxygen. Getting our air filtration system online. Those are pretty much the things that we accomplished this episode. We'll eventually, I think, pump... Like, once we filter this into just pure oxygen, we'll start filling up our backup oxygen reserves. But let's get our more oxygen production online first. And then we can start thinking about how we're going to do all that. Alright, calling the episode here. I'll catch you guys next time.